Oh, hail, Liberia, hail, this glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of our rest benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. God bless Liberia.
Days, he should check all.
Ego, the way we suffer on the land to vote.
Tokyo.
I hope this new government will do something better for us. So the hard time is too much.
Well, the way the new government will start work, that's how we will know if the government will be a good government or not.
Like how now?
My sister,
Eh?
the number one problem Liberia has is the Krokoji, Didiba, Koyokaya, Koni, Mango, corruption in government. Then they can say the place where you tie the goat, that the place the goat can eat.
Exactly so.
So, for us to know for true that this new government is not an other full government, then before His Excellency Joseph Nyumabwake can sit in the chair as president, he must first tell the Liberian people the money he get, the land, the number of houses, the company, and everything he get, so that when his time finish few and he tells us what thing he get, then it will be easy for the Liberian people to know that he did not take anything from them. And whatever he tells us should be put in the newspapers and on radio for the Liberian people to see kolo and bear to bear. That the one the Kui people can call asset declaration.
That one will be correct thing to do.
It will be correct.
Because every time they gave the Liberian people big government job, when you low, they can get a big car,
Oh yeah.
big horses,
Coco.
they can have big party.
When they play,
They can use money just like water.
Ikonolang.
Just that they can make matches to get the money.
Oh yeah, play.
That one, we will not take it.
We will not take it.
JMB and his big government people, whether they go up,
They go up.
they count down.
They can't down.
We will not take it.
We will not take
We will
it.
not take it again. Ayaka.
That the one that will make Liberia to be sweet land of liberty for all the people of Liberia. This krigba, kobacho, mango business in government, it must stop now, and forever. Ego, help Liberia, ego.
Yes, so government that place to serve, that place to see. JMB must start first, then everyone will follow. This is leadership by example.
Yes, leadership.
Okay, folks, welcome to Talk TV Media Network. Welcome to the Wednesday broadcast. This is Leadership by Example. No mango inside. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network, the Wednesday edition of Politics, nothing but politics. So welcome to the show. Those of you who are watching online on different platforms, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, share the broadcast for us. Today we'll be discussing national issues that shines the light on Mama Liberia, issues that are concerning you, that are concerning all of us as citizens of Liberia. So follow the broadcast. Your contributions are highly needed. We appreciate all of you, our strong followers over the past 2 years that have followed us. Without you, there's no way we could have been here. But we are here to stay. Like I always tell people, Talk TV Media is here to stay. We are walking our way up the ladder, step by step, gradually, strong. For every strong institution, it requires a strong foundation. So this is where we are. And we're growing it up because there is a lot in the pipeline to come for us, for our viewing audience. Man, all of you watching us out there, I see my nephews out there, James Conyon. Happy New Year. My man, happy New Year to you, man. Long time no see. We need to talk. Now that politic time is over, it's time for you to come back on the show for good to talk policy issues now. Policy issues. That's why we need to talk. This is your area now. Especially a man like you. You have so much wealth of knowledge inside of you. But anyway, happy New Year to you, Mr. Fasa, who's watching as well, and all of you guys out there. My name is Sam Gadu. A lot has already taken place for the week. Since Monday, a lot has taken place, and these are the issues we'll discuss this evening, tonight, wherever, whatever time zone you are in tonight. The issues of Gloria Musu Scott will be on the agenda. You know, was Gloria Musu Scott and her family given a fair try? That will be one of the topics we'll be talking about. And of course, there is a lot of political maneuvering taking place in the corridors of the House of Representatives when it comes to the Speaker of the House. Who is going to be the next Speaker of the House coming this Monday? Yeah. Is Joseph Numa Boakai a big political player? We will know. Does he have something he's holding on to that when he swing, everything will move in his favor? Because the Speaker of the House position is very, very key, very important, to the point that it will help Joseph Numa Boakai's administration achieve his 5-point arrest goals for the country. But if he doesn't have a house that is in his favor, that is in the majority for him, it could hinder a lot of his agendas. So what power play? We watched last night. He called a lot of them last night. We'll be talking about that. You know, things I play. That's politics. You know, that's politics. When I see what occurred last night, it's almost like what happens here in the U.S., Congress, House of Congress politics, which is necessary. It's okay, perfectly fine. You know, you have to break bread. You can't just sit there and listen to someone saying something about somebody else. If you don't invite them within your proximity, let them get to know you. Let them interact with you. It's very key. You know, that's one aspect. And of course, staying up to the Capitol or the House, we also saw a lot of protests that have been taking place over the past few days. And it is currently at ease until Friday, wherein we'll see the agreement they got into with the Senate staffers is workable. It's something that will take place. It's something that will happen. Those are some of the issues we would love to talk to you about tonight. And of course, at the end of the show, we do have a couple of dev announcements and other things that we want you guys to be aware of. But howbeit, folks, you know, before I even get into the bread and meat part of this entire broadcast, right? I would love to give you guys JMB's song. Let's into it, because this is the basis on where we going to start our discussion. So listen to it.
Liberia, and build Liberia. same green dream. Rescue. Oh, from poverty and hunger. Rescue. Forming competence and failure. Let's rescue this land. The rescue train is moving. Get on board to rescue this nation. Rescue. Oh, from crimes and corruption.
All right, folks. We don't have much time, so we will resume the show. We'll start. That was just the Joseph Nyamubuakai rescue song. Think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia. Now it's not Joseph Nyamubuakai saying so. The Liberian people are the ones saying so. Because if the Liberian people were not to buy into that vision, there is no way they could have elected him. So, of course, the Liberian people are the ones saying so. To think Liberia, to love Liberia, and build Liberia. So as part of that plan, as part of the Joseph Nyamubuakai new administration that will soon be sworn in, today is the 10th of January. We have 12 days left for Liberia to have a new president. 12 days. I mean, days fly by very, very fast, very, very quick. You know, time flies just like that. By the time you know, it's here. It's here. It's almost here. Well, a week from now, it's over. You know, and Liberia is packed, will be packed, is already being packed. A lot of people are traveling to Liberia. A lot of Liberians, friends of Liberia, sympathizers, you know, walking in the corridors of power. People who want to be a part of history, you know, have booked their schedules, their itineraries, their tickets to fly down. And we'll be there. We'll be there to making sure that we'll bring you information as, you know, you see it fit. And also in a very comfort zone. Those of you who will not make it there will still bring you information, live broadcast there. So you can depend on Talk TV Media Network, of course. But think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia, Joseph Nyamubuakai says so. As we continue within that same spirit, just last night, the Senate, the House of Representatives, is on the verge of falling in favor of the Unity Party, of the incoming leadership. Fanatic Kofa is on the other side. People are fighting. Very high class politicking is taking place. So we saw last night at the residence of the incoming president-elect, Joseph Nyamubuakai, where he invited members of the legislature, those who are new and those who are who will be staying, you know, extend a hand of friendship. Come on. Come over, visit with me. Get to know my vision, my plan for the country. If you like it, then vote for someone that I think can head the House in order to achieve this vision and this goal. So that is the ultimate goal. When you look at the politics from last night, right? A lot of those people went out there, a lot of the senators, you know, some people take the talk, even though the election just ended. But some senators, based on what took place, they are still holding things very personal. And this is why I tell people when politics is not your game, don't get in it. Because when the mud is swinging, when the campaigning is taking place, when the assassination of character is taking place, right? That's for a period. But after that, you have to mend the broken friendships and relationships in furtherance of the country's future. Because Liberia is what matters most. Liberia is more important than all of you politicians out there. All of you. So that is why there is that common denominator that brings all of us together, right? Whether you're a lawmaker, whether you're a government official, whatever sector of the economy you are, the common denominator that we all have in common is Liberia. So forging Liberia's image and promoting Liberia's progress and growth is very, very significant, very vital. And this is why I believe it is against that backdrop that Joseph Numa Boakai invited most of the senators and lawmakers last night at his residence to dine with him, to get to know each other. Even if you're not going to vote for me, for the person that I'm choosing, for the person that I'm choosing, but for the best interest of Mama Liberia, we can still work. We can still have a cordial working relationship. That's it. It's all part of the politics. But those guys coming out, when they came out last night, from most of the interviews, the excerpts that they were giving, they are all indicators that everything is walking, is moving in the direction of Joseph Numa Boakai. That the next Speaker of the House of Representatives will be a unity partisan. A lot of us, when you look at the politics here in the United States and other parts, Western powers, you tend to realize that there is the importance of the balance of power, right? It's very important. But when you look at what happened here in the US compared to what happened in Africa, in African politics, there's no balance of power. It's like so say one, so say all. I mean, you win, you take all. We don't take all. Sad to say, but normally that's what takes place. That's what happens. And I think part of that is because the system the people have in place here works. It's effective. It works. There are checks and balances. But when you look at our African governments and legislators, House of Parliament, how corrupt they are. Some of them are only going into power for what they can get. As in the words of John F. Kennedy, the late, may his soul rest in peace, that ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. This is the ultimate goal why these people should go to power. If you put Liberia front and center, if you put Liberia first, Liberia wins. The people of Liberia wins. People who were taking stuff so serious, especially the sycophants, the followers of these people. I always tell people, politicians, whatever they say on national media, is all politics. They meet behind bars, behind closed doors, and settle their differences and move on because it's just politics. Last night, what would you say with Hassan Beliti? Hassan Beliti attending to that meeting at Joseph Numa Boakai's place. He attended. Many of you can recall that Musa Hassan Beliti said a lot of stuff about Joseph Numa Boakai. And now, Joseph Numa Boakai is the one inviting him. My man, come let's sit down. Come, let's talk. It's all politics. Wearing our glasses. Let bargains be bargains. Because what matters here is election period is over. You won your seat. I've won my side. Now let's work in the best interest of the country. Very key. But those followers, those ardent surrogates of President Weah, those ardent surrogates of Joseph Numa Boakai and other legislators and other political stakeholders, they take the grudge so far that they want to kill. Now, what are you going to do? The man that you want to kill for is now sitting on the same table eating with the man that you are against. This is why Talk TV Media Network has always brought that light, try to educate people, who are behind these politicians. And you don't have to take it so personal, so serious to the point where you should hurt or take another person's life. But anyway, it is alleged that the incoming administration already have over 40 people that will be guaranteed, that will be voting in favor of JMB. So the next speaker will be a unity partisan, meaning passing the laws, passing things in the house, whatever that is required in the house, will be easily done for JMB. We hope that even as they are going to elect the next speaker, that they will make informed decisions, not because they are, whether you're a unity partisan, you on the CDC side, or you're independent. Your job, number one, is to make an informed decision that your vote will make a difference, a positive difference. That is what you want to do as a lawmaker. You just don't want to play the politics for politics' sake. I'm not a fan of Yeka Culver, but sometimes he speaks in ways that are truthful. I tell people, I'm not his fan, but sometimes he speaks the truth. That the only political party that you have is Liberia. So you speak, it's just the way he presents his message. That's the only problem I got. His foul languages and stuff. That's it. Because once you have a broadcast, thank God, Facebook and other platforms, you have a dirty mouth, I'm not going to follow you, because it almost looks like what I'm feeding or listening to, it has some sort of effect one way or the other. I would not have my children listen to all that. When you have someone who is a lawmaker with foul languages and every word coming out of their mouth. No. When you're a leader, you're an example. You must set an example. You must be an example as a leader. So that is the case. That is the only reason. I don't follow Yeke, or don't listen to him like that. Only when there is something or somebody calls my attention that he says something, I want to listen to get the information right for myself. That's it. But that's one aspect. And I hope this administration is on now, is the president in waiting, and he is the nephew. I hope they will collaborate and make things better and work for the best interest of the country. That's all I can say, folks. So that's one aspect. The issue of who will be the next speaker of the House of Representatives is almost clear. It's almost clear. It's almost done away with. Because what? Nobody's playing the higher stake politics than Joseph Buckeye. You know the problem? People don't understand. You can talk about Joseph Buckeye from afar. If you hit him afar. When you get into his presence, before you leave, you'll have a change of mind. That's politics. That's how you know. Because he is a man who just doesn't talk, he listens. He is more a doer than a talker. And this is where I am keen and patiently waiting to see the first cabinet appointment that Joseph Buckeye will be bringing, because we will be here to criticize those, to critique, not criticize, but critique those appointments. If Joseph Buckeye administration is going to be successful or a failure, we will see in 12 days from now what his cabinet appointment will look like. We'll see it. You, the Liberian people, will see it. You, the Liberian people, will know that what he has been talking all along makes sense, and he's moving in the right direction, because we will call him out if his appointments are misplaced. because one of the criteria he's using is competence. And part of that aspect that he needs to look at, and those who are working, that entire team that is aiding him and helping him in making sure that his selection and those appointments are done right and practical, is someone can have a degree, a doctorate degree, to head, someone is a medical doctor to head the Ministry of Health. If you take that person there and put them at the Ministry of Maritime or Finance, you have misplaced them. They will not function right. The way they will handle things at the Ministry of Finance or Maritime will be far different, right? So when you look at competence, you have to look at it holistically, as in a way that it is doable, is practical enough that this appointment will make sense. If I'm a farmer, I know about agriculture. I have degrees, or have not just the competence, but the inner working and the connections. I am a living example. I have connections with farmers across the world or in the Western world and stuff. And I have worked most of my life in this area, right? And I have that track record. When you put me in that area, I will function a whole lot better, because I know this is something this person's been doing all their life. This is something, or they are just coming into it. Because another thing you have to look at is, on those appointment lists, is the gender balance, though. I'm a little bit concerned about the gender balance. We have a lot of females, our women, females that are so qualified, and a lot of them would deliver far more than the men. Sad to say, about we the men, most of the time we get into these board meetings and stuff, we just want to ruffle shoulders and show who got the biggest and tallest and strongest shoulder and stuff, and nothing comes out of it at the end of the day. But when you put the females together who is qualified as well to do that job, forget it. You know, the female just need to buy into the vision, and when they're pregnant with it, they're going to deliver more than one baby for you. So I hope the incoming president understands that females are very key in very strategic positions, because when they believe in your vision, you can accomplish so much. There's so much you can accomplish when you have a female backing. And we have a lot of qualified females. So that gender balance is very, very key. Very important. I will be here, number one, to preach gender balance. That the women, our Liberian women, those who have the love of Liberia, be given positions, corporate positions, ministerial positions. Let them deliver. Because guess what, though? A female is a mother. So she has that empathy, she has the heart to deliver, to making a society a better society. We the men, we just like to bluff. We just like to show what car, what's the latest car the other one is driving. You know, what's the latest suit I can wear? Yeah, that's all we like to do as men. What's the biggest degree hanging on the wall? As in, who can deliver? Who can get it done? That's all that matters. You can talk all day you want to talk. If you're not getting it done, you're not working on my team. I need people who can deliver, who can get the job done. That is what Joseph Numa Boakai needs, not someone who will go and lecture you all day. Liberia has had enough lectures for 176 years. Nothing has come out of it. 176 years we have had lectures. By all the book people in the world, though, what has come out of it? So Joseph Numa Boakai, you have a task. And I know you, the way I know you, nothing can just fly under your radar without you not reading. You know, no paper that comes through you, across you, or on your desk that you cannot read. You are one person who reads a lot just to make sure that you are in the know. That's how leaders operate. That's how leaders work. So, Ome Boakai, I wish you well. You know, that your administration, come 12 p.m., on the 22nd, power will be shifting hands. Power will be shifting hands. Yeah. Those of us who will be witnessing a new era will write history for history to be read by those who will come after us. That's what we'll do. So that's the aspect of the Senate issue. By next week, it will be done. And then, of course, the Senate has adjourned, the House has adjourned. So the aspect of the issues of President Weah playing the appointment of the Associate Chief Justice and also the appointment at the LRA, it's going underwater, that too, the way it's going right now. You know, the politics has been played. That is something that has not even gone to the legislature, right, for hearing or whatever. You know, it got stalled right at the judiciary. And then with all the protests that has been taking place that derail all of that, you know, hearing or whatever, the things that they have planned, you know, and now the Senate has adjourned until next March. What happened to President Weah's strategy? Is it a failed strategy? Because by then, Joseph Numa Boakai will be in charge, though. And the funny thing is, those who are coming in, those new independents, and even those who remain, right? Not the outgoing senators and representatives, but those who were fortunate to remain. They will not just want to play tough. They want to play nice because this is a newer administration coming in. So they're going to play a little bit nice, right? In making sure that whoever the next appointee, that appointment, even if it is going to be heard or listened to, will not pass. Because this is someone who is on, I would say, on a red, who has been given a red card by America, by the international community, you know, who is on the radar for investigations, for crimes committed, for corruption. They won't pass because it will taint Joseph Numa Boakai's administration, especially under his watch for those confirmations to take place. So this delay for the House to adjourn was political. Could one say that the protesters, those who were protesting for their benefits, right, were one way or the other pushed, or politics playing, asking guys, y'all go ahead with what you're doing, right? Charles Brown, the Senate chairman of the Staffers Association, was out there every day protesting with all the people, to the point where, you know, a petrol bomb was thrown at his vehicle and burned into arches. That too takes me to that topic. Sometimes I wonder, what kind of country are we living in? Is it a country of laws or a country of men? What kind of country is Liberia living in? That when someone differ with you, that when someone has a different opinion than you, or if someone is playing their politics so well, the only way you pay them back is by destroying property or lives. That is what I'm talking. That's nonsense. Very much nonsense. And these are the kind of issues the new administration will have to deal with. These hooligans, these thugs that masquerade our streets and our communities need to be dealt with. They'll have to be dealt with. Law enforcement, that is another key area that I'm looking at with eagle's eye. What would Joseph Numa Boakai's appointment be for the next police director? Who is going to be the next police director? It's very important. Finance, very important. Foreign ministry. Oh yes, the diplomatic sector. The ones that portray Liberia to be in the diplomatic world. It's very key. So these are some of the areas that we are talking about, folks. We are saying these things, we are talking about these things because these things matters. Maritime, a big place where a lot of money comes into the country. Very key. So when people say, oh, these appointments, some of these appointments are not that important. Some of these appointments are not that important. You know what one appointment that is so important to me too, that a lot of people don't want to normally talk about, is a healthcare side. Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health is very key because healthcare is a problem in our nation. Healthcare is a big deal, a big problem in our country. And it's killing our people. It's killing the children. One of the reason factors that's causing that, I can tell you, is just look at the incidents that took place about 2 weeks ago. Where did a gas tanker explosion that led about almost 80 plus people die. And some are still on sick beds they may not survive, still struggling and suffering. No better facilities to take care of those deep wounds and burns. Yeah. That is all because of a lack of poor healthcare system. Our facilities need to be equipped. The healthcare facilities, the clinics, the hospitals, not just in Monrovia, but across the country, needs to be equipped. Right? When you take that, you see another area that can be easily attacked and taken care of, which is the fire department. Life-saving. People, we've seen lately a lot of houses, personal houses and government buildings put a fire, burn. And when you look at our fire department, it is shocking. It is shameful. Shameful for those to see those men struggling and fighting to put a fire with not equipped. Folks, the fire department, our fire department needs to be positioned in most parts of the city, not only there, but in the various counties. Just as a way of starting, you have 5 or 6 fire departments positioned in the city, and every county should have, every city, capital city in every county should have 1 fire department. And a lot of education needs to be taking place. That will help our country. Or else, with the absence of that, you on your own though. Your car catches on fire, there's an electrical problem, your house is on fire, it's going to burn down. Everything, you'll lose everything. So you have to educate people, you need fire extinguishers. You build a house, people who are building currently need to meet fire department codes, all of that. And I know that all those laws are on the books, but people are not implementing them. Our builders are not implementing them. The house owners are not implementing them. Even when you build your house with no fire codes, at least protected by having some sort of fire extinguishers, not one in the house. Have the big ones, or the smaller ones you have about maybe 5 or 10. Have a fire extinguisher in your very car, because you know if there's an electrical shock or something happen, your car catches on fire, at least you're able to rescue or do something. In the absence of that, you're standing there watching your car being burned into ashes. That's it, folks. That's it. So when you look at all of this, the Ministry of Transport just this week caught on fire with 1 fire truck, not fully well equipped. These guys are struggling and suffering. The Ministry of Finance caught on fire late last year. Nothing. These guys are working. They are not being equipped, supported able to do their job. They want to work, though. Look around us here in America. Fire stations are everywhere. You have a fire in less than 5 minutes. That fire is under control. If you have an accident in less than 5 minutes, there are 3 people that shows up: the ambulance, the fire truck, and the police. And all of them are trained to handle whatever the issue is. All the 3. We need a better government. We travel across the globe. We come here, we live here with our families. We go back, we are given the opportunity to serve, and we are just okay with the system. But when we travel, we come back here in these foreign countries, in the diaspora, we praise the other people. We like what their system, what they put in place. But now, when you are given the opportunity where you make decision, where you run things, you squander all those opportunities. You negate all of those. It doesn't matter to you. We need a change here. We need a change here. We need a change. The way we think and the way we do things. We need a change. Folks, I am going to take a break. You see this right here? This is Gloria Musu. Before I bring her case in, and the issue of the LACC reports that's coming in, all of that. Today, those who are in compliant and those who are not in compliant, that report is out. Most of it, just a portion of it, because there's more to come. Now that the new government is about to take over, we need to start sounding alarm for those members of government who are not in compliance with declaring their assets and making their reports for the new government to take over smoothly. We hope the LACC, the work they've begun, will continue, will be a good work for them. And that is it right there. It's just hard for me to read some of that. So a lot of those that you see in the red are non-compliant people. And then those in the white, compliant. A lot of these. So the LACC, according to reports, issued their, let me see if I can read that quickly here on talktvmedia.com. talktvmedia.com. You go to talktvmedia.com, you should be able to find that. Or rather, you can visit the LACC website. Report says Wednesday, January 10, 2024, Monrovia, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC, as promised, is today publishing the first listing of appointed exiting government officials required under Section 10.1 of Liberia's 2014 Code of Conduct, right, to declare assets and personal interests. So those names by ministry are there. Like in the case of the National Security Agency, Pearson James Henrik, Director General, is in compliant, right? But there are so many of them that are not in compliant. Then comes my question. Why? The LACC Act defines the function of the LACC for assets declaration as the institute and operate the assets declaration and verification regimes of the government of Liberia. This is in pursuant to the Code of Conduct Act of 2014. So these guys have to, they need to be in compliance assets. Very, very important. They should declare their assets, right? So that's one aspect of the LACC. That report is key. You can download it on our Facebook page or on our website at talktvmedia.com as well, and be able to peruse, look through it. It'll be very good for you, information purposes. Then that moves us to Gloria Musu Scott case and her family. We watched and witnessed the sentencing of Gloria Musu Scott, who and the other 3 family members are sentenced to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. They are sentenced to life. I mean, I just said life. When you look at this entire case, because sometimes when you speak furious or angry about what's happening in Liberia and the law, you sometimes you people say you're emotional, but I'm not going to be emotional. I am going to talk to us as a people, right? What kind of country do we have? What type of laws do we have on the books? Who is willing, who is man enough to stand up to the truth? Who is man enough as a lawyer, as a politician, as someone who will make the common man trust the justice system of Liberia? Someone who has a backbone to say, it doesn't matter if it takes my life, I'm going to stand up for the truth. This case of Gloria Musu Scott, the good thing is I don't know her. I'm not connected to her, but I was able to follow this case. There were a lot of missteps in this Gloria Musu Scott case, a lot of missteps that could have called for a retry. And that wasn't done. And sometimes I wonder whoever that judge was. I don't know what kind of judge he is. I don't know if he has children. I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has relatives that he would take, such a high profile case at a lower minimum level and not attached that much importance to it. Because you can just look at so many things that went wrong and realize something isn't right. The prosecuting party, according to information and sources, many times came in contact with the jury, as many other people are saying. And that has been proven. That is one of the rules that you cannot break to get in touch or in contact with the jury. The jury has nothing to do with the defendants, with the prosecuting party, nothing. No contact whatsoever. But it was alleged and proven that the government arm of the prosecutors were in touch with the jury. That is tampering with the jury. It's called tampering with the jury. And as a true judge who knows the significance of this case, could have disbarred them and call for a new trial. Because that doesn't happen in a Western world where the system is working. We also learned a lot of those people, witnesses, they testify, were people that they picked up from the street from Atai shops and stuff. They knew about the case. They were working in favor of the government already. They knew that these are government fanatics and surrogates. And he allowed them anyway to testify. And so another thing that really struck me was the issue of the cell phone that was in proximity. Valley Teller's cell phone. That Jefferson Koji was in the know too, communicating with the security on guard that night. To have access to that cell phone, to follow up through with that cell phone, as in that entire whole case, by bringing Valley Tyler's wife to testify, for the judge to refuse that. It's a problem. That wasn't any big deal. So, but the judge made himself known to the point as though he has interest, a personal interest into the case, instead of being the only neutral force, right, in the case. He portrayed his behaviors and his rulings can tell anyone watching or listening as though he has a personal interest into the case. And so, because of that personal interest he had in the case, he made a ruling the way he did against the defendant, Musu Scott and her family. The autopsy reports is another area. There are conflicting reports on the autopsy reports because the Gloria Musu Scott family hired a well-renowned autopsy individual from the U.S. Yeah, well-renowned, someone who is reputable, an entity that is very highly reputable when it comes to crime scene. Went and did theirs, and findings prove otherwise than what the Liberian government autopsy shows. So if you are a judge who has no interest in this case, if you are a judge who allegedly has not been bribed into this case, you will weigh those two reports that came out. You call for an independent one, a more independent one, a more robust independent one, or you bring the two pathologists together, all of them, they both, and then try to find out, let them make their arguments, let them come to the plate. If not, bring another independent one, because this is a matter of someone else's life. How possible is it that 4 people with starve, deep wounds, old people, and their own family member, that all 4 of them held a knife to kill her? And all of them are charged the same crime. One of my pastors used to say, impossible. That's impossible. But justice delay is not justice denied. It has a political undertone. From all indications, the George Weah administration, from my observation, knowing the kind of repertoire, knowing the kind of well knowledgeable, internationally known Gloria Musu Scott is when it comes to the law and fighting and prosecuting, decided to say, we got to get her out of the way. We got to lock her up simply because if we don't lock her up, we will suffer a lot as a government. Because that is the United Party's lawyer. They have always confided in her when it comes to international issues, legal issues. nationally and internationally. Do you remember the case with Brownie Samuka? You realize that these guys are in the habit of destroying and assassinating well-renowned, versatile, knowledgeable men and women that are known internationally. Do you realize that the Weah-led government has been in a habit of destroying and assassinating their characters? Look at the case of Brownie Samuka, who's well known. Look at him. Same thing with Musu. Why? Has someone asked why? Because these guys wanted to stay in power. I always tell people power goes and power comes. Power comes and power goes. So when you're working in government, you need to realize that I'm in government to serve the people. Put your self-interest one side. If you have your self-interest, don't get into government. If you have your ego, don't get into government. Put it one side. You're in government to serve the people. You are in government to serve the nation, to serve the people. That is why you are in government, folks. So the issue of Gloria Musu's case, I think now that it's gone, it's moving, there's an appeal to the Supreme Court that will be held under the Joseph Nima Boakai administration. I see it as a political move for George Weah. So they will say, oh, the woman killed her own child, we convicted her, and here is Joseph Nima Boakai letting her free. You see the politics? That is all. But you realize those who are in the know of this case truly know that this woman and her family did not commit this murder, that the killer is out there. The killer is out there, smiling and laughing. They know who did it. The government knows, the government of George Weah knows who killed Charlo. They know. That's it. But it's all part of life, though. All I can tell people is hang in there. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Those were the words of Martin Luther King. Justice can delay, but one day can never be denied. Nelson Mandela went to jail for 27 years. And justice was served one day, and he was free from the bondage and the shackles of the walls, the four walls of the cell, and became one of the best presidents South Africa ever had. Nelson Mandela. Who saw that coming? Who ever believed that? Who could see that? Sometimes people forget history so soon, so early, because when they are in power, they feel like they become demagogues. They get elected by the people. They feel as though they are gods themselves. They feel as though they are above the law. They feel invincible. That's how they feel. And when someone is in power with that mindset, that kind of knowledge, they are destructive. Very much destructive. That's what happens. But folks, Wednesday edition of Talk TV. This is how we're going to conclude today on today's show. But before I do that and bring you the announcements, listen to this other advertisement.
Liberia.
Yes, oh.
That corruption that is holding Liberia for tight. So that this country cannot go in front with development. Say. every day the country just going behind.
That true, my daughter. Some government people can steal money faster than the way the monkey can steal banana, my sister. So the new government must stop the plenty stealing in government the way the 2014 law says. That law says before anybody can go to the Liberian Senate for interview for any government job, he or she must tell the Liberian people the money and the property he already has. That the one the book people can call
Asset declaration. No asset declaration, no government job. And anything you show or declare will be put in the newspaper so that the Liberian people can know it according to our big law book.
Yes.
Or constitution.
Oh, yeah.
Even the money that the government can pay you, it must be put on radio and newspaper for all the people to know. For will the new government do it?
Well, my daughter, when a woman says that she fine in the name, they will break. So let's watch and see. Now, this new government must put her feet down on this plenty stealing in government by making sure that every 3 months, the people who can check on government money business, GAC, will check from the president office all the way down, according to the new law book of 2014, to see where the money will come from to build big houses and to buy expensive car for themselves, their wife, and sometimes for their girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the one the quick people can call
lifestyle audits. Yes, sir. This is so necessary so that Liberia can become a better country and everybody will be happy again. Go, corruption, go. We don't want you in Liberia. Go. We don't want any corrupt person in government. The Liberian people are ready for all the big road to be out of government fear. Government that plays to work for the people, that not plays for TV, Jankoriko people.
Definitely correct.
Okay. Government are not place to steal, that place to work. Government is not a place to steal, it's a place to work and serve your people. It's a place where you can be accountable to your people. It's a place where you feel I'm a citizen and I feel proud being a citizen, and I must play my role as a true citizen. That is the essence of government. So you must be very humble, you must be very lucky to serve in government. Take pride. Yeah, people serving government, it's not so much about the money, it's about legacy. And the reason why a lot of us, some of us, don't even want to serve in governments in Africa, it's simply because it's looked at very differently. You become a target, as in you want to serve to change the system for the better, and then you become a target. They want to destroy or take away your life. That's part of the reason why a lot of us, we don't want to serve in government. Because I know a lot of friends, a lot of people who are qualified that want to serve in government that could change so much for the better. But they won't risk it. They won't risk their lives, that of their family, members, and loved ones, simply because of that. So government is a place to serve. As we get towards the new transitioning of power that will be taking place in less than 2 weeks, I want Liberians and all of you watching to realize that Liberia will not become what we criticize, what we want it to be, if we all are now willing to put hands together to making it work. It is not a one-man thing. Whether you are in a private sector or not, or in a government, I want us to realize that all of us have to put our hands on deck. All of us have to do something. the more jobs we create. You may not want to work in government, but you are an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You could open jobs, and employ. The more Liberians you employ, the better for the country. That could be just your way of participating as a good citizen. Another man may want to work in government to make sure that its corrupt system is straightened up. That's it. And if he's able to achieve that, he's contributing his quota and his part to the government. All joints supply. So let's work together for a great nation. For a great nation. Before I take leave of you, folks, I have a special condolence to one of our colleagues and also a son to me as well, who works for Talk TV Media Network, Kevin Snett. Condolences to you from me and on behalf of the Talk TV Media family for the loss of your father today, who passed at the Redemption Hospital. We're in prayer with you. I hope that God will console you and strengthen you as you go through these times. We'd love to I'll get with you to get more announcements better and how well we can put that up on our page as well for the public consumption. Also, special condolence to one of our mothers as well who passed this gone Sunday, Ma Kangba. She was known. Her full name is Kumba Sisi Kangba, and most people knew her as Ma Kangba. And her husband is late as well. He used to be, I think, the district commissioner in Foya, and so she passed away as well due to a heart attack. This gone Sunday. Woke up active, went to church, and that's it. It just happened. This is the life we live in. Sometimes, folks, we just have to be prepared and ready. That when the trumpet sounds for you to go, you are prepared and willing to leave the earth, because no one has monopoly over that, only God. He is the only one who has the key to life. And so as a result, we must always be prepared when you hear the door knock. Very, very important. Also, we are looking for contributors. We are looking for contributors on our platforms to working with us, Talk TV Media Network. We are putting a lot of plans and strategies in place for this year, not for the coming year, for this year, 2024. A lot of changes, a lot of good things in a pipeline. So we need people who are committed to work. We need people who can write as well for all the platforms we have. We need writers, print journalists. We need broadcasters. We need field journalists as well. So join us, contact us. Our contact information is online on Facebook or Messenger or WhatsApp. You can reach out to any of us, and someone, of course, will be able to talk to you. You can just go on our website at www.talktvmedia.com. And so, with that being said, folks, this is how we come to this broadcast for today, Wednesday edition. And I want you guys to realize that all these issues, trending issues around the world, globally, will be followed. I am coming to you from an unknown destination, of course, as you can see in my backdrop, So, but it is what it is. What matters is us being able to bring you information here at Talk TV Media Network.
To the man talking beside me, he can't keep quiet 1 minute himself. And then when I put a camera on him, he will not say nothing. I can guarantee. This is Carol Ann from Canada. Good morning, Liberia. I got surprise for you today, but he already messed up. Now my big brother Gloria, look at here. Look at here. And you see him?
Whatsoever we come and do, let we start.
I'll be after him for days now. Come on now, I'm talking to Liberian people. Okay, so whatsoever we do, we be sorry. Okay, we'll get out of the car, we will go somewhere, and we'll come back to you now. Okay, now we have reached the park place where we are going to walk about. Anyway, let me turn this camera around now so you can see my brother, because he's the one for today.
Hey.
Okay, so here we're back, both of us on the same side of the camera now. The thing I wanted to say when I first started doing these videos, it was so hard on me because I said, what? Who am I to be talking to Liberian English, singing Bassa, so I don't know Bassa self. All of y'all know that now. Anyway, my... Oh, you lie. It's funny how... So, okay, so you want me to say something?
Well, yo hello.
I meant in Bassa.
Be moyo, be moyo. I said be buo won o. Yadi, body buo yai. They can't hear me.
Oh, they can hear you for sure. They can hear.
I can't hear them.
No, that's the problem, you see. Carry on, more. Let's have more.
Well, I don't.